they're not thinking just about the region. They're looking at all the regions, and they're seeing what works, what can they bring back, and what can they make just explode here.
Another benefit you heard Aramis say in the interview, we really learned how Tier 1 Dota is played this last year. Puppy has known how Tier 1 Dota is played for a decade or more. Zai since he was like literally 17. Heen is a TI winning coach. So when you talk about strategy, which I think in that Division 2 match we just saw, that was the difference maker, was the experience of Hellbear and their captain Rasmus and some of the bigger veterans. Like, it's such a hard... It's so insurmountable, it feels like, this knowledge gap. So I need Viking, if they're going to take this, to give me some surprises. They need to be the ones looking at other regions, finding inspiration, because Lord knows Secret is going to be prepared.
Well, they've had about, I would say, a week and also maybe 11 days, 10, 11 days to prepare for this series.
How many hours, Cheever? How many minutes?
I don't know how many hours or minutes, but I do know it has been quite some time. So they have had time to prepare, and so did Secret, though. So we're going to find out what both these teams have in store for each other as we are ready to start the first game of the series after this.
With the right CPU, you can turn any game from familiar to phenomenal. Unleash the potential in all your gaming with Intel 10th Gen processors. With its optimal balance of threads, cores, and frequency to deliver elite real-world performance, only Intel can bring Marvel's Avengers to life with in-game PC optimizations. Supercharge your Marvel's Avengers experience with Intel Core i5, i7, and i9 processors.
if last year was a training ground for the DPC season, then we got on one side a team with 8-3-0 victories of championships of tournaments versus on the other side a team with 2.5. I'll give them 2.5.
Division 2 titles give you a full half star.
Okay.
It sounded like such a deflated balloon the way you said
Yeah,
that.
not that. Like you can't really compare these two. I'm curious to find out what they're going to draft against each other because we're going to see all those lessons learned from last year put into practice. We're joined on the big screen by Purge. I have Cal and Moxie with me as well, and we are ready for the draft of this first game of Viking versus Team Secret, where one team is the invited team, the favorite team on the Radiant side is Team Secret, and then Viking the challenger. And Purge, I want to hear your opinion on this matchup first, because we have seen Viking taking series off of Team Secret.
Yeah, I think Viking has a shot for sure, but I kind of agree with Kyle's Secret. I think, especially like the league system here, it allows you so much time to prep that I feel like these top teams in the world that are known for that win huge tournaments against the best teams in the world, they're just going to put their full brain power towards it and have some really good stuff cooked up. So I think it's going to be harder for teams that are trying to catch up in the meta to not get out-drafted, to not draft themselves into a corner, to not get out-strategied in-game in these weird situations that come up. So Secret should have an advantage here.
And I already love their draft. Yaps or Earthshaker. The Death Prophet is very open. I was talking with Keizu and a couple other guys about this. It is so good as a 5 and also really good as a 2, especially in a game against an Earth Spirit. Whether if you're mid, you're not really gankable, because if you save a drain, you're just not going to get bursted. And if you're the 5, you're also pretty survivable. You're not going to get killed by the offlaner +1. It's just a really nice hero nowadays, and the itemizations you can go are excellent.
Yeah, we've seen G do it a couple of times successfully as well, coming from the CIS upper division.
Yeah.
And it's getting to be a little bit more flavor.
It's kind of neat though, like they talked about that, in Zai's interview about how they're looking at other regions, they're seeing what works and they're adapting and bringing it over for their team.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's definitely one of those moments where, you've seen G run this very successfully several times now. So why not pick it up, use it as a flex, because the more that you can hide your draft, the better.
Yep. And the same thing goes for that Bat Rider.
It does have some weaknesses in the mid and late game, though, as a support compared to other heroes. Like once BKB cores come out, you can be a little vulnerable, certainly. But yeah, there's definitely some decent things about it. When OG played it, it did better than I expected it to. So as an opener, as a flex core support, it definitely is fine.
Yeah.
Bat Rider should match up against it decently well mid. I mean, Death Prophet can push out lanes pretty well. But if he dives you and gets napalm on you, that's difficult to turn and get the first Spirit Siphon off. And it doesn't slow anymore, so it doesn't, other than like giving you more survivability, Bat Rider can certainly still dive and get kills on you.
Yeah. I actually think for that reason it's more likely to be a support, although I think in a high skill matchup, Death Prophet does fine just because you can shove wave. Honestly, and you have a pretty significant base damage advantage. You certainly have to be careful, but especially because the new bat kind of has to, you have to spam sticky to participate in the lane. That's just free mana for the Death Prophet, which translates into more waves, more creep kills, and more harass.
Well, it's funny that you guys keep mentioning that, like with the mid matchup. I know they actually asked Boom during the AMA, what is the top 3 mid laners he's afraid to play against? And unfortunately he wasn't there, but the answer that was given to him to go and tell his teammates was 1, Nisha, 2, Nisha, 3, Nisha. So
he was, Team Secret Team of the Year 2020, Nisha Player of the Year 2020. The kid is unstoppable. I was doing some research to try and shill for Team Secret because somebody's got to represent Dota in these award shows. Like, we're never getting love.
Not using my notes again, Kyle, and you
I
doing
made my
your
own
own
notes,
research.
but it's the craziest stat. In those 7 consecutive majors that Secret won in the online portion of 2020, 8. Well, 7 was when I did it.
Okay. Sure.
7 finals, all BO5, 7 3-0s. Nisha played 18 unique heroes over 21 games.
That's awesome.
That is unbelievable.
That's so awesome.
So
It is actually so insane.
That's just, it just blew my mind.
Are there even 18 mid heroes? Like, what the hell?
Good.
But that's what the thing. He had played everything. Most mids, they specialize in something, right? And when you see them out of their comfort zone, you're like, I'm not afraid of this guy. Nisha played everything from Meepo and Arc Warden to like Tiny and the Quap and SF, like the regular ones, and it's just still good. Like he plays Bat, he plays everything.
Just imagine the freedom that also gives, obviously Nisha a great player, but the freedom that gives any drafter, if you know that you don't really have to take into consideration what your mid does and does not play, because you know he'll play anything you'll throw at him. And we talk about Nisha in that way, but we know that Zai also works in that way.
Yeah.
It's got to be the dream as a drafter.
Yeah.
Just you have so much freedom and flexibility to be creative too, right?
Zai is like the Kyle Korver of Dota 2. You know, not only is he
Nope, I don't know.
strong jaw line, very strong jaw.
Who is that?
Consummate professional. He does his job.
What's your
He gets it
reference
done.
from?
One of the best
Wait,
shooters.
who is it?
NBA.
Shoot.
Sports.
His name's also Kyle,
okay.
so I'm a big fan.
Literally. I mean, why can't you just like name one of the ones that normal people have heard about instead of
Most
having to,
people,
like-
I would say if you watch basketball, you know who Kyle Korver is.
Yeah, well,
Okay,
there's a huge percentage
Kyle?
that don't watch basketball. Kyle.
Okay, fine.
we
How about
are-
Steph Curry?
Hey,
he
you're
enables
control-
this team.
Wow,
Okay, I will stop you
Wow.
right here. We are covering European DPC. Most
Okay.
of the viewers are from
That's
Europe.
not a
Sorry.
plus 5
He's
roll.
what was that guy on who played for the Spanish national team? Xavi? He's
no,
like
no,
that.
Kyle.
He's
What?
the
No,
glue.
no.
Huh?
Kyle, no
sport?
more.
That's football. European football.
Well, I don't know that one.
He was like the
I know
greatest
Ronaldo.
midfielder.
Yeah, yep, that's a good one. to
Ronaldo.
know.
Everybody
Very
knows
good.
Ronaldo.
Yeah, but
Good.
Zai isn't a scorer like that. He's like the guy that
Oh,
you
look,
want
a
on your
puck
team
and
because
a
he makes
Phantom
everybody else
Lancer,
better.
too. My goodness, look at the control coming
yeah,
out
look
here.
at the draft.
You
Isn't
know,
it
and where's
crazy?
Okay.
that puck going, Purge?
I don't know.
Save us, please.
Probably mid. I don't know.
Thanks, Purge.
The Oracle's a cool pick because you want to deny it. You don't want to let a team pick Oracle into your bat. The trouble is, I mean, Death Prophet, even if its support's just so nice against these heroes, just because of the silence factor. Troll PL matchup can kind of go both ways. We've seen some Battle Fury trolls, we've seen some Mjolnir trolls, but it just is a nice answer to the support duo. Oracle Earth Spirit hate playing against the PL, and so does Bat Rider in the laning phase. So I could also see them doing something weird. Maybe you put PL mid against Bat. It's a pretty favorable matchup for PL.
Is it really? I mean, Doppelganger cooldown's pretty long at early levels, so yeah, you can remove
You
napalm. but
have a 30 base damage advantage.
that sounds pretty good. Yeah. Okay.
Okay,
I
not
like
quite.
having-
30 with the quelling blade on your own
for
hits.
you
Like,
last- yeah, it's not
you
gonna
don't miss
die,
last
but-
hits, and that's not counting the charge damage.
That's true. I really like Oracle with troll pairing as well because it gives you so much play potential around your ulti now rather than it just being straightforward. It's like, oh, his HP's low, he's going to ult. But now you might have Oracle ulti and you might have troll ulti on top of it, so it just gives them a lot more decision-making capability.
Yeah.
And I like troll against Death Prophet as well. If it is a core, she doesn't do extremely well against super high like single target damage, so troll could certainly
Oh.
help her at various points.
We also forgot it's Zai. This could just be a Death Prophet off lane, and in the laning phase, Oracle Troll against Shaker Death Prophet is at best a trade. Like, I actually think DP offlane's really nice here. I don't know what the puck is. I really don't know, actually. I take that back. They could do anything.
Yeah.
Puppy likes playing puck a lot, actually.
He does.
He'd be
Okay.
picking it for himself.
It's not... I mean, that I actually think that knowing Secret, I would agree with you. Like, puck for Puppy, Death Prophet off, and then this PL is flex now, based on whether they think Bat is mid or safe.
It's the beauty of Team Secret, you know, you don't know exactly where all these heroes are going generally, unless they're very, very much a specialty hero that you know someone specifically excels on, like that Earth
I feel-
Shaker.
I feel like that's the big issue drafting against these top teams in the world is that like they're so flexible at all their positions, like you're talking about for Nisha, but also like they don't, when they do force like weird circumstances, they like feels like they always just have a slight upper hand over their opponents. So I feel like I see enemy teams that play against Secret, OG, etc., or Enigma. They make these laning mistakes sometimes where they're like, "Oh, we'll just try lane this circumstance," and it just really bites them in the butt almost every time it happens. So I don't know how to beat it other than being better than them, but maybe just play standard. Let them force themselves into like weird hero picks, like play Death Prophet support that isn't as viable necessarily as other heroes. Maybe that's one solution, but I like what Vikings done so far with the draft. It looks generally well-rounded, even if there are some hero issues.
And they banned out the Omni Knight last, so from their bans, we can't really gauge too much from that, but now we know that there's a Storm in the game, which most likely will be Anisha's hero, and then a DP can be either 4 or 3 or 5, actually either 3 or 5,
Like
I'd
three,
say.
yeah?
Yeah, with the 4 Shaker.
Puppy being the puck.
Yeah, I'd say Puppy Puck over Zai Puck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's a really nice combo with Shaker, because you can abuse having lane control better than most offlaners, and you're high sustain. It's just, you kind of prefer having solo levels too. Shaker plays out of lane a bunch. It's a really nice pickup here. Storm against Bat, it's a very skill-based matchup, but the Storm can push very easy, and you can't dive him as easily either, because you're going to run through so many remnants. And it's the same concept where just this early stick, you have a huge base damage advantage, and you just shove the lane.
In the last Storm Batrider we saw, Storm had way more last hits than Batrider. So maybe it'll be reflected in this match as well. And then he can get out of lane and go jungle, and Batrider's going to be busy with other stuff.
God, I feel so bad for this Oracle, because like Celery usually has very good positioning, but they have so many things that can reach the back line and just make him irrelevant.
Yeah. There's so much balance in the Secret lineup. Like, it just feels good. You see the win conditions. They're going to have a bunch of natural power spikes. Their two supports offer so much team fight. The side of Viking, you know, Underlord's not really making plays. Earth Spirit doesn't really have a lane to gank. It's a bat mid.
Purge, I would like to hear your final thoughts on this draft.
I definitely feel like there's more weaknesses in the Viking draft. They have damage issues as well. It's like, what Troll, Underlord, and a Bat, like how do they burst people rapidly until Troll gets items? Feels like they're going to be on the back foot for a decent amount of the early game, or at least the mid game.
All right, thank you very much. We'll come back to you later on. What's up, Kyle?
The bat factor. That's the key here. You've
Okay.
got Earth Spirit, you've got Bat. You need to get a whole bunch of kills. If Viking take this game, they're going to need to hit like 10 kills before Secret's at 4, and they have to find a way to take towers. That's the tough part for me. I don't know how they kill towers, and they're going to need some.
Final words on the draft, Moxie?
It's just a beautiful draft coming out from Secret. You know, it's funny, you know, you look at a lot of these heroes that are in the lineup and we're kind of like, wow, you know, wouldn't have thought, you know, a couple years ago that would be an actual balanced draft, but it's beautiful. And I think it's going to be easy to execute.
Final point, that Secret, it's art, okay? I don't know how to explain it, but I love analyzing for these top teams matches, because you look at the draft, I don't know why Van Gogh paintings are beautiful, they just are. Much like this draft.
All right, well, thank you very much. Let's find out how this first game is going to get played out. We're heading over to Odie Pixel and Fogged.
Thank you very much, Steve. Yeah, it should be a fun one. Secret versus Viking here in the upper division of EU. Fogged, well, we heard the panel sort of gush over the drafts here, especially Secrets. Would you agree, or do you think we might see Viking really give Secret a good fight here today?
The amount of references that Kyle just made in one panel, I'm lost of even what to look at these drafts right now, because I'm just listening to sports, and then he's talking about, I don't know, just paintings and something. I'm like, crazy. I look at Viking, and it looks like the draft that they like, right? It looks like they got kind of what they wanted, but yeah. I like what Secret has up against it. Elusive cores, the PL and the Storm Spirit around kind of limited disable. I feel like that's why they went for the Underlord, to try to round things together a little bit there, but I feel like they're going to be able to play around a lot around these disables pretty well. And I think this Earthshaker, I'm wondering to see what Yapster's going to do. He's been playing it a ton in pubs, but just like that last game that we did witness, I expect him to do a lot of those rotations around top and mid whenever he sees opportunities.
Yeah, I feel like we're, Shaker sort of definitely beginning to get favored a lot more than it was. Is this hero, what teams are just sort of getting onto the fact that this hero is actually pretty darn good right now?
I think he's on the rise for sure.
Yeah.
I think people are seeing that you can now, well, I'm saying now, but you can pick non-traditional offlaners and make them work, and especially with Shaker, he makes non-traditional shine so much more, because he's gonna fissure block the offlane, you're gonna get a good start, and the shard. You have to mention the shard, of course, changes the hero dynamic entirely.
Well, let's see what sort of shenanigans Yapso can get up to early to secure that sort of preferential lane position and setup and make things a little easier for Zai up on the top lane.
I'm going to be watching mid quite a bit, because I've seen these Storm Spirits. The better the player is, the more dominant the matchup is versus the Bat Riders a lot of the times, and it's really just up to the Bat to just completely outplay the Storm. So I want to maybe even see like an Aramis TP if they get a good positioning for the Flame Break knockback or something like that. Even pre 4 minutes or maybe setting up around the rune, I definitely want to see this Earth Spirit put attention onto Nisha to give Boom an advantage.
Yeah, we'll see how active indeed Aramis is going to be. I mean, and as you say, he's going to sort of have the space to make a lot of those movements. You look at the bottom lane. Is this a lane where Underlord, Toby's going to be fine left on his own?
there's no stuns that Toby really has to be careful. So if there is a concern, if the position is on, he just TP to his tower, right? So I feel like he has a little bit more liberty to move. It's a hard lane for them no matter what. They can't actually put pressure at all. And I mean, and Puppy's actually just ruining Aramis right now.
He is. Aramis is. He's going to have to pop a salve or something. As Puppy completely zoning him out. He's going to have another orb in a second. I wonder if he goes for it. At the same time, top. Stellary also taking quite a bit of harassment here from Yapsot and Zai. And indeed, yeah, Aramis is just going to have to pop that salve for himself to allow him to stay in the lane.
And he wants to be able to pull. He wants to like pull the lane once on this Earth Spirit, right, to get Toby a decent start, and then be able to maybe look to move around. But yeah, Puppy not allowing that to happen. And yeah, it's going to be a tough lane for these two anyway. Underlord's going to get some last hits, but PL's going to free farm down here. So we'll see what those moves are. Yeah, top this Earthshaker Death Prophet lane is actually not that bad. The Troll's going to farm, but they can probably get some kills if there is just some messed up positionings, especially from Celery.
We're seeing the mid at the moment. Just a little bit of... Well, okay, so he's got the 3 creeps here. Yeah, pretty much even between Nisha and Boom right now in the 1v1.
And
now,
there's the TP, so Aramis is coming already.
I mean, Nisha stepped up pretty far.
I like this move. I think this is exactly what he needs to do to set up Boom for success.
Yeah, Puppy's going to come across, see if he can do anything to help out, but with the stacks of Napalm onto Nisha, there's no hope. As first blood goes the way of Boom, Aramis is going to look for the neutral denied. He's able to do it. Excellent stuff here from Aramis.
Perfect. Exactly what I wanted to see him do. Just an excellent movement as soon as he sees the opportunity when he hits level 2. Nisha, I think now he's going to be probably thinking about that more so when he does step up on the high ground with two sticky stacks.
Definitely going to have to respect sort of the response here from Aramis a little bit better. We'll see where he heads out to now. He's back on the map. Looks like, yeah, just going to take the move down to bottom. 30 seconds until he's going to be able to help out again mid. So Boom probably will keep himself to himself a little bit. Make sure that there's not an opportunity for Secret themselves to make a move. But he knows where Yapsor is. He's Yapsor, top remaining here. Continuing to try and set up onto Celery. And with the Siphon damage, they'll be able to take him down. So this lane, as you said, that's going to have its potency, especially against Celery, starting to now get those kills.
He's sick by Yapsor too. The fissure, and then he actually steps right in front of him so that this Oracle can't go down that sneaky tree line. Good stuff up there. And now he's level 3, so even stronger potency coming from the Earthshaker with triple ways of stunning. And now again, look, mid. Nisha stepped up far.
He stepped up. It's an instant TP from not just one, but the two of them. They're going to bring Celery over as well. Make sure they have that further control with the root as Nisha getting well and truly prioritized here by Viking in the mid. Boom's still got the stick charge, so he's not even going to go down to the tower. And there's also a regen rune for him waiting down bottom. Could not be any better for Boom. And yeah, I mean, Viking, they're playing this mid lane to perfection, right? This is exactly what they've got to do. They're making the most of hitting Nisha before he hits that 6.
Absolutely, yeah. It's super crisp moves, and Yapsor is not really able to help it. Like, he made the play top, but it was too quick to happen mid because the Oracle respawned and just TP'd to set up with that Earth Spirit, and then can just naturally move the way toward top. So, yep, absolutely beautiful stuff from Viking. Still not have a gold lead at the start here, but a good start to enable Boom to be ahead of Nisha, which we wouldn't usually expect.
We'll see down bottom. Puppy, he's going to have to use the orb to get out of this. As soon as he tries to get aggressive onto Toby, Aramis instantly in and on top of the puck. See the 5-minute runes coming up. Looks like it will just be the trade 2 for 2 for them here.
Yeah, no invasion play. Boom can't push the lane in hard enough. He doesn't have his Firefly up, so he can't check or steal Nisha's. Nisha gonna stack and maximize in the meantime. Nisha's still not having a bottle though, so he's actually having to hold the rune there for the moment till he does get it delivered.
Yeah, so for sort of all the time that Yapsor has spent up here, do you imagine, like, is he himself going to look towards the mid to try and help Nisha out, or with the way that mid's gone, is it sort of too late to look for that opportunities?
He should be okay here. Yeah, he should be able to walk away. I think around level 6. When Storm hits 6, you can make the plays a lot easier. Just because he got set up on twice now, he can't make it pre-6. Sometimes you can, as an Earthshaker with the Storm versus anybody, because you get the early point in Vortex, but just wait till Nisha gets 6. He has to be more comfortable. And he will finish it right now. He's got this stack to work through. And they will double check the runes on Viking anyway. Make sure that they can get this for Boom, not let Nisha get a power rune. And it will be an arcane rune bottom. So one of the best ones for both of these mid laners. As top Shad, he's been left alone since they are double checking the runes with the supports. He's actually getting pressured here, Zai.
I mean, Boom's going to come over with the TP. Can he do anything to keep them off Shad? He can't. Siphon out, and they'll get the kill. See if they can take down Zai in return. Zai's going to go immediately for the TP out. There's nothing else to put it to a stop. So a great move and escape from Zai, and also pretty big having that lasso being used here the first time round.
Yeah, I think he did pop the arcane before using it, but yeah, it's going to be a wasted one, and they get they get a nice kill, and they get earn charges too on Zai. There's a big benefit for him. And now, yeah, Nisha now gets the pressure relieved off of him without having lasso up, and Secret starts to apply very nice pressure. Like the troll is getting slowed down quite significantly, as you can see, because of this top lane, the Earthshaker and the Death Prophet. As we mentioned, you know, Matu's getting free farm. He has no worries down here. He's going to do the PL build, we call it now, because it's hood into defusal every game, or defusal into hood every single time.
And how does this game sort of look on paper for a PL that has free farm? Like, is this a game where Viking, you consider them to have good answers to the PL down the line?
No, I don't think they have many answers really at all, especially if they start to fall behind too early on. Matu can really take over. He's amazing against both supports. He's pretty damn good against Troll Warlord, especially if he's ahead like this, and he's great versus Bat Rider. All his matchups are good except for, I guess, versus Underlord in a way. So it should be, yeah, it's going to be really tough for them. And it's not just the PL. It's like they did gank Nisha twice in the mid lane, but he's still fine. He's still completely recovered because of those stacks. He's actually same net worth as the Bat. And he's going to be a nuisance. He's going to be a problem with their slightly limited disables.
We'll see Shab returns to top lane, but already you see Secret there. They're immediately sending the full backup up here, the three of them. Puppey, Yapso, and Zai. Yeah, they could look to...
He's got Exorcism, and he's tanky.
So, yeah, really put the pressure on.
Shad right away.
Trying to push Celery off to the side. Yapso with the body blocks, allowing Zai to close the gap. And Celery, he's got the stick charges, but yeah, with that earned damage and a final Crypt Swarm, Zai gets the kill. And really breaking down this top lane of Viking and sort of buttering it up into a position where Zai is going to be able to put the pressure onto this tower and threaten this tier 1 very early.
Shad has to leave the lane. They have to just ditch this tower, I feel like. Unless they bring probably 4 or 5 heroes up here, even the Underlord, I don't know if they can defend. They're going to send the Earth Spirit, so that says to me they're going to try to defend it.
I mean, it's definitely going to be tricky with the Ghost out. We'll see how much Viking can do to sort of get Zai off this tower. And yeah, Aramis already just starting to roll away. Did manage to pull the creep wave out of this, but Zai, I mean, with the earn charges, he's sort of happy to tank a bit here, just get as much damage as he can done with that Exorcism, forcing out the fortification.
So not a full defense, just a pseudo one, where he, like you said, pulls the wave. Bat Rider's just going to finish his bots in the mid lane, and Underlord's finishing his items down bottom. Rather than committing fully, they're just going to slow down the push. Pretty significantly, too. Not able to finish it off, and now Shad can make his way back up there. So decent hold, just an Earth Spirit kick to slow it down. Very nice.
I'll see from the mid, Celery and Boom. Smoking up Boom now with the completed bots. And of course, Lasso ready to go.
And now there is no Exorcism, and the support's not quite, of course, not like level 6 on the side of Secret, so this could be a nice move if he's able to find somebody, but he shows himself mid, goes back to farming.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
I mean, can you sort of expect with Vikings heroes, you know, now that they do have Boom with the bots, once he's sort of refueled and ready to go, can they start running at this PL? Like, is that sort of the plan, or if you're Viking, are you trying to just shut down the other heroes enough to get to a point where you're going to be bringing a team fight and Secret's supporting cast isn't strong enough to enable the PL at the timing that Viking's going to try and bring the fight to them?
It's just a bit scary, to be honest, because when I look at the drafts, I see decent initiation on the side of Viking, of course, with the Bat and Earth Spirit, but I see phenomenal counter initiation from Secret. So I feel like they just have to be careful where they do make the move. But Matu is way too hard to go for at this moment. Unless he massively misplays, they won't be able to find this PL. But they look like they're letting the top towers continue to get pressured here. And once the levels do kick off, though, the two supports on Secret, they're going to add a whole new overwhelming amount of team fight to the draft. So I feel like this downtime, maybe they don't feel like they can fight because of how much they've been shut down on the troll, but I feel like if they wait too long, it's going to be harder for them to even fight because of those supports.
And do you like this on Shad? The build-up with the Falcon Blade?
Dire's top
We've been
tower
seeing it on all of these Agi cores.
Yeah.
I have yet to see it on a like melee because I count
Oh wow,
still as a
dude!
melee hero.
You see this? He's got Falcon Blade queued straight into Axe.
Okay.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
I mean, that doesn't solve the solution of the PL, which he's supposed to be, which is a big concern for me.
You don't sound like you're a fan.
Middle tower is under attack.
I like the Ags a lot.
Sure.
He needs to be the hero to kill the Phantom Lancer and to match the PL. So I feel like him not going Maelstrom or Battle Fury, it's going to hurt, but maybe he feels like he just can't.
I mean, it's going to be interesting to see. They've obviously got something in mind with this bit of a different approach. As you say, you know, absolutely, Aghanim's an incredibly strong item on Troll. But interesting to see Shad get it in this order. As he's got it queued, we'll see if he does actually build into it straight up off the Falcon Blade and what sort of moves they can make with it. Bottom lane, Yapsor looking to cut off Toby here with the Fisher. Toby's going to try and get out with the Rift. Yapsor just dropping everything here. Toby, he's not going to make it away. They do get the kill. Boom.
Might lose what? Boom?
I mean, he's thinking about trying to make a jump in onto Zai. He's got the lasso.
Got the siphons.
See if they've got enough damage. Knocking Zai back with the flame break. Nuking him down low. They'll get the kill. Now rolling in. They're going to be able to find Yapsor as well by the looks of it with the Firefly. Boom's able to burn down a second. So Viking, they may have lost Toby, but actually able to find the favorable trade there, getting both Zai and Yapsor in return.
Yes, they saw, I mean, Yapsor overcommitted the Echo to make sure that he, you know, Underlord stays in position, but they see that. That's when they see an opportunity. Boom, waiting in the sidelines. Nice lasso grab. Do see Nisha now pretty much have Orchid done, and he found the item for Storm Spirit. He got the Fairy Trinket. So now he's going to start popping off. And this Orchid is very effective versus all 5 heroes.
I'll see how much of a hold Secret want to do down now. Puppey, he's been caught. Nicely done by Toby there. As soon as the orb was used, Toby's able to catch him on just the edge of the pit. And it's enough to allow them to close in and take him out in the river. Nisha, he's going to lead in straight away onto the bat. An Invis rune was found. He pops it.
Oh.
And he's away. He's trapped in by the Fisher, but it doesn't matter. They've got no vision down around this area as that Invis rune saves Boom's life.
And it shows the Orchid as well, so they get to see the first usage of that and be able to pick how they're going to continue their pressure. And they're going to go bottom, with Shad as well showing up. So they really want to take out this final tower here. Zai, no Exorcism at the ready. Puppey has his coil, though, and it looks like they want to fight. Nisha not at the most healthy
If they could kill Zai before the fight starts, though, this is going to be a great beginning for Viking as they're straight in and they've got him with no difficulty at all. So now it's a question, really, if Secret want to still try and commit for this. They've lost the tower, they've lost Zai down here. Do they still want to try and look for a fight?
It's rallied around Toby, too, who has a mech, so they're pretty strong if he is there, but Boom just TP's out. Matu, he's got the defusal.
Yeah, straight in with the silence. Onto the back lines, they've found Celery, but Celery's actually able to get the false promise off in time. Follow-ups there from Nisha. Moves in onto Aramis with the Orchid, takes him out. Dream Coil locks down both Toby and Shad here off to the side. The illusion is just burning the entirety of Celery's mana. He's got nothing left to pop. Booms in with the lasso. He's found the grab onto Nisha. Has he got enough damage? No, he hasn't. Nisha's out with the Ball Lightning TP. Nisha will make it away.
Dire are scanning.
Can't believe Secret actually persisted to try to fight into that one after the tower dies and after they lose Zai. Just into the mech. They're still strong on Viking. They got the one support, right? But Celery ended up living because of his false promise. Dead even now. Actually, it's slightly gold leading even for Viking after that tower does get taken out. So pretty decent after this laning start here. And we're gonna just see like Shad. He's full committed for it. So
yeah,
we're gonna have to see if the Aghanims does work.
I mean, I've got to imagine, you know, that so you're getting these Ags early. Sure, the Dispel is nice, but I mean, there's not really too much you're taking off, right? I mean, I guess it's some sort of slows here and there. But ultimately, I imagine it's because of the reduced cooldown, he's just going to have a lot more damage output, just chucking these axes out left, right, and center in the midst of it all.
And he's reducing the PL's damage completely, right? Those miss rates, then the defusal is going to be counteracted a lot too. So I can see why he did go for it, but it's just, is he going to be able to get, he needs to get a farming item after. He needs to get the actual counter to the PL so that he actually does damage. Because right now it's just, he's going to make them miss, and it's not going to kill this team, but is he going to actually be able to kill them? not quite yet. But I mean, they're definitely making it work so far here before it does kick off. He's not getting pressured, and they're making good space. I mean, Boom's gonna have a BKB at a very good time for this Batrider, which, as we mentioned, they have good counter initiation on Secret, but if he has a BKB, he can break that counter initiation.
They're hunting down bottom, but Toby's senses very nicely done there. As soon as before they even get a glimpse of him, he's already rifting out. So Secret won't be able to put a stop to his escape.
Nisha pushing forward for an Arcane. Matu pushing alone right now mid.
Oh, we've got the Yapso. Big pickup. Blink Dagger is done.
And he's got the actual build, too. He has the actual build for when you're going for your Blink Rush. You have the max Aftershock rather than max Fissure. So big team fight, as we said, for Secret going to be kicking off. And we'll see if Viking has to kind of play around it really nicely. Either have the Batrider with the BKB, or they have to just start the fights from like these weird angles and get this good angle of approach to make sure that they don't just get comboed by all that crazy team fight from Secret. Doing a good job of farming, though. Even Aramis has his BKB queued up, too. They're understanding what they need to get on these frontliners and what they need to get on these initiators so that they don't get counter-initiated on.
See what Secret's next move is. How's Matu doing after the defusal? Nearly having that Yasha on top of the defusal hood. So this PL still very much going to be quite difficult for Viking to deal with. So as we say, though, we'll have to see sort of in practice how much the presence of Shab with the very soon to be completed Aghanims will, how much harder it makes Matu's job in these fights.
Yeah, because it's going to be he's going to have to put attention differently in the fights too now, right? Because he's going to have to help his support. This is more of like you're helping your support build, I feel like, for your Troll Warlord, because he's going to have to fight around them to protect them from the illusions now, because he's going to apply all that miss rate so that they can actually get their spells off. I'm really curious to see how it does do. He's going full defensive. He even queues up BKB after, so just fighting in full. It's a fighting full defensive build, and it could work. As Puppy.
I'm just having to use it there to make sure that they don't continue to chase him down.
Quiet game though. 5-6, 17 minutes. Both teams content with the pace. Both carries content with the farm that they're able to get here on the map.
It's just sort of a question of, in whose minds is this bet? Is this Viking saying, hey, you know what, let's chill, we've got Shab farming, or is it Secret that are feeling more confident with the PL? See the smoke from Viking. Boom. Lovely opening there from Aramis. Instantly in with the silence on Tanisha, but they didn't quite find the follow-up lockdown. They couldn't catch him in time with the rest of them. They'll get Yapsor instead by the looks of it as they go over towards the mid lane. But Nisha actually able to make it away there. I thought they'd have the chain lockdown, but they didn't.
I don't think they initially knew that Yapsor was there. Boom didn't want to use his BKB, and then, yeah, he missed the opportunity there. But they'll get the tower out of it, so a nice move, and they still have Lasso for the next move that they do want to do. All in all, looking pretty decent for the side of Viking.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, yeah, this Ags, it's definitely going to cause issue, especially for Storm, right? Nisha's got to be careful that he doesn't get, just hit by the Whirling Axes. He's got to keep himself at a distance, because if he gets hit by that, that's, what, a full 5 seconds where Nisha's damage output is going to be pretty limited, because he's not going to be able to hit anything with the Aftershock procs. Aftershock, sorry, Overload procs.
Overload. I was like, wait, I wish Storm had Aftershock.
Ability drop. But you know what I mean? Missing attacks for a Storm Spirit is highly infuriating.
I think he's going to be looking. Nisha's probably going to be looking to playing on different sides of the team fight, though, right?
Sure, just staying completely away
it all
from
depends
Troll.
on how Shad plays in the fights, because he can play around defending his supports with it pretty well. Because the Storm and the PL, they're going to go for those supports. So it's really how Shad chooses to take the fights. But definitely could be annoying, absolutely. As Celery, he'll walk into the river under a ward.
I see Aramis trying to come in. It's going to be a buyback for Celery. Viking want to try and take this fight over to the side. Shab pushing away Zai. Zai, he's got the ghost out. But they will respect that buyback from Celery, and they're not going to try and push any further with the Exorcism. We're still definitely content with Matu getting the full top half of the map to himself.
Yeah, they got the BKB from the Batrider, and they used their Exorcism, so they just wanted to be careful with the buyback. But immediate smoke, they still do have their lasso. They had this ward watching up top, watching the PL's movement, so they're trying to track Matu. Very hard to find him, though, and they are playing very defensively around him. Shad will find a DD bottom, as his team does swoop over and get some more wards down toward this top side. Looks like they're setting up, though. They still do have that ward. Puppey did get one down earlier.
Oh, Nisha. They're going immediately in there. Aramis did try and catch him there with the silence, but not quite getting the position with the boulder.
He's respecting that silence a lot. It's causing Nisha some problems. And Aramis is on point so far with this 1, 2, and 6. And we were mentioning how he's building a BKB. He almost has it. This Philosopher's Stone is paying dividends. It's going to be problematic for these. I mean, these two frontliners on Viking are going to be able to go in and not have to worry so much about this coil, this Earthshaker ult, and these fissures like that. It's going to be pretty nice for them to stick on targets. Matu is still getting all the space in the world, though, which is definitely a concern for me. Because, like I said, Shad's not building the items to counter him. He just has the... I mean, I guess you can say the Ags in a way is a little bit, but no ways to actually kill him. Just control.
Still quite a few peaceful moments in this game, really.
Yeah.
And it's, I feel, you still gotta believe that for the PL, this is probably preferential when it comes to carry matchups. And I think maybe a bit of this sort of decision to maybe not necessarily push it as much as they would have otherwise for Secret is the fact that, Shad has this Ags. Maybe that is a bit of a deterrent that said, all right, you know what, we're just going to keep farming. We're just going to allow Matu to continue to do what he does. Because with this early Ags pickup on Viking, they have prepared for Secret to be going on them. And Secret at the moment, they're not giving that to Viking.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's also they have dual core versus a kind of single core, right? The Batrider at some point does start to kind of fall behind, even though the hero is still overwhelmingly powerful in the later stages. They will just have a core advantage at some point. And the Death Prophet as a hero scales really hard when you're playing versus this type of a hero like Underlord. You're always going to have a phenomenal target to Spirit Siphon. And Underlord, he's a different kind of monster in these engagements. I mean, I feel like Secret is happy with the way that the game is going, but I don't feel like Viking's too disappointed either. It just seems like both sides are very happy with the state of the game.
Yeah. And we see from the intentions of Shad's build. So once the BKB's done, he will of course go back for the Maelstrom into Mjolnir. So he does have that item to fight the PL. Yeah. Top lane Aramis. He's out with the roll. As Nisha, he can't chase on. Puppey's going to try and set up with the Dream Coil. Boom, popping the BKB immediately. See if he can get a catch with this, but Secret a little too speedy to get out of there.
Nisha out of mana though. They got to back away. Give some respect to it. These BKBs are ticking though. That's twice now he's had to use it without actually finding an opportunity for lasso, so down to 8. Yeah, they're just playing the farm game. Just farming items, farming for Secret until they get their next big, I guess. I mean, Matu's just, queuing up the heart. Just content.
I know, just be interested to see how good of a job Viking are going to be able to do at, finding the real PL when it comes down to the action. Because I do think, this Shad Aghanims is, the 60% miss chances, it's going to greatly reduce the damage output of Matu when it comes to him trying to commit. Sure, he's got a few dispels here and there, but the cooldown's so low that it's a lot to play around. He's going to get caught by it multiple times in the fights. If they can keep Shad alive and at the same time find some sort of lockdown onto Matumba Man, the PL's fight is definitely a lot harder to execute than maybe initially hoped here for Secret. Secret, they've got the core down onto the two of them. BKB comes out from Aramis and boom, lockdown's there onto Zai. They drag him straight back into the midst of them all. There's no backup from Secret. They have to let Zai go.
An immediate disengage. They have bounty runes in 30 seconds. They're trying to claim the high ground here too, and they'll be able to get it. So the hard angle of approach for Secret, but they're looking to go in. Puppy. They've got the buy back from the Death Prophet.
Yeah, they really don't want to let this objective go. Nisha, he's got the grab in onto Toby. Toby, he should go down into the silence. He's going to try and get what he can out, but Toby will get taken out by Matu's army. Zai with the wraparound setup onto Celery. They'll be able to pick themselves up a second. There's 2 heroes down. Zai's buyback definitely paying off here. It has enabled Secret to move into the Roche pit. And with Viking just having 3 heroes alive, they're not going to contest this at all. This will be a Roche for Secret.
Maybe Kyle's in my head right now, but chess is... That looked like a game of chess right now for Secret, right? They let... Like, Zai just dies. They let him die. BKBs are used. Lasso's used. And then they see Viking playing over-aggressive. They buy back, take the fight, and it's right around Roche. It just was a kind of like perfect play, it seemed like, for Secret, even though they literally just let Zai die at the start of it. It's a very smart move from them. And who did get the... They actually give the Aegis to Matu even too. I thought they might just give it to Nisha because I feel like Matu's pretty invulnerable, but now we're probably going to see Matu really pushing the boundaries. He's probably feeling like he's going to get heart, and then they can actually start threatening and starting to make aggressive moves for once on the side of Secret with it.
True, and I guess he's, out of the lineup, he's going to be the one that's... if they want to try and push with this Aegis to take objectives, he's going to be the one hitting the towers.
Yeah. And he's just going to be... he's going to be charging. Like, he's playing versus Oracle, right? So he's going to be charging into the backlines.
Yeah, well, we see here Matu just a few hundred off having the heart, so continued quick item timings here. 26 minutes in, 8-8. Definitely one of the more passive games we've had. And less than a 1k gold difference in it. Very, very close right now. It's just all a question of whether Vikings' approach to this game is going to pay off against a farmed PL. If Shad is just able to carry the game against Matu.
I'm really concerned because it's just him who's really... Oh, he gets a nice free career there, as I'm saying. But it's just him to deal with the PL, to deal the damage. And this PL has 3,000 life on top of a hood. And he just feels very unkillable at this point. It doesn't feel like the rest of his team is going to be able to contribute much of anything to actually deal with Matu. It has to be Shad. So we'll see if it all does work, because they're smoked, waiting for an opportunity on the high ground. I like Boom's item build here, going for the Shivas as well. I think this is really nice versus the PL to try to find it and just tank up. But will it work? As Secret, we have 27 minutes. We're seeing the new neutral items being picked up. They're farming these camps. Boom.
Dire are scanning.
Does get spotted by the ward as soon as the smoke does end. Yep, so we'll back away with Nisha.
In fact, Secret, they're looking to start stepping straight back towards them. Boom, yeah, he's got to get himself out of this area. The rest of Viking already on the retreat.
Secret has some very limited vision at the moment. They just have that one ward down in their jungle. So just playing kind of with darkness on the map. Still getting themselves in a good posture with this farm. Nisha is getting close to his BKB. He's 1, 2, and 3, but he's unbelievably fun. 300 last hits on this Storm. They've just been maximizing. It's been a game of really maximizing on both sides. Secret slightly pulling out ahead on this, though. And their scaling lineup, it's starting to look pretty scary for Viking. Even though there's barely any lead, it's just, how are you ever going to deal with Matu?
Matu tries to have a bit of a poke at Shad, but back up inbound. Viking sat straight behind him in the mid. As yeah, it still very much feels like a game where the fact that it is sort of low on the kills that it has been has mainly just been down to Secret's choice to avoid unnecessary engagements. Sure, we've seen them come in at moments popping the exorcism, and this has just been around looking for objectives. The other fights have been ones that the Vikings come out to look for. As again, Viking with an attempt to make the jump in mid, but they can't quite catch him. Puppy's out.
Standard Puppy Puck, just being super annoying. Just giving a lot of information too when that happens. Like we mentioned, they don't have much wards on the map, but that happening, they get that now. They do have this ward bottom that sees Toby chilling on the sidelines. Toby in a world of hurt.
Yeah, leaning into the sides, but they have got the Greaves. Is he able to get the Rift off in time? There's a lot of lockdown and further silence here from Puppy as he comes in with the Rift, and no escape at all here for Toby. It's that ward indeed, granting them the setup for the free kill. See Viking at least able to reclaim their outpost here at the top half before the 30th minute.
Puppy's making his swing over. He TP'd up top instantly, maybe looking to try to snatch it away, maybe giving his life for it. Let's see.
He's going to be able to get it back
Look
in
at him
time.
go.
They're going to have to fight him.
Matu's guarding him. I don't know if they can fight him with Matu in the area too. They might try, but Matu's covering it completely. And yeah, they're going to deny the outpost from Viking. Just heads up moves from Secret as now.
Shad's alone.
They walked right on Shad.
I mean, maybe they didn't expect it to be as alone as he was. I mean, of course, he's still a very hard target to go on. Did have BKB and battle chance to fight through, so Secret not looking to commit on Shad. They'll give him the respect and space.
They're just not making any unnecessary jumps when they feel like they might get a kill or something, but it's not necessary. Matu, his Aegis does tick out as Aramis is going on him, but he can just quickly disengage with just a doppel.
Now we're seeing Shad. Shad's nearly got the completed Miona, so whilst Matu is stepping ahead in farm, Shad not too far behind, and he does have that item to help him stand against the PL. The problem is that Matu is as farmed as he is. Already 2,800 gold ready to start spending into the butterfly.
Yeah, he's gonna have this full item advantage over the troll at this rate. And troll's items, I mean, his space in his bags is starting to be kind of limited.
And because you've got to think, 31 minutes in Shad, he's only won 1 or 2, so he's only been involved in like 3 kills, so very little action. Yep. Was this the intention when he did buy the Ags? Like, was the Ags bought do you think, to stop Secret from going on him, or was the Ags brought with the intention that the action would happen? Because I would imagine if they knew it was going to be this sort of game, wouldn't he get the Maelstrom earlier because that would have sped up the other items?
That's how I felt about it too, but I mean, they must have felt a different way. They must have felt maybe they were trying to just lead the charge or something and maybe be able to get more aggressive. But I mean, Secret just made this game be so passive because of the way that they just disengaged all the time. Just tough to say. As Puppy is chilling behind a tree.
Ready to block these smokes. As they're in onto him, but he's away. He's away with a blink, and Nisha actually zipping in, trying to spook them on the back lines, maybe try and see if he could tease out some BKB charges, but Viking keep their cool. Nobody's going to pop their BKB.
They're going to re-smoke. They're going to re-smoke, and it's an arcane rune on Nisha. So he's...
and a regen.
Oh my god.
Oh, it's the Storm Dream here. Arcane and regen. He is good to go.
They're scouting the wards now, too, to make sure there's no vision. Puppy.
I see he gets the Dream Coil down onto 2, separated them. We've got Nisha trying to go for Celery, but Celery's out with the Glimmer Cape. Zai popping the Exorcism. They're starting to spam the Lances in onto Boom. Boom gets the lockdown with the lasso, but Boom is falling low. Zai able to buy time here with the self-kills. Viking with the remainder of their BKBs. Can they actually kill off Zai? No, Zai's got the movement. He's able to step out to the side. Zai's going to live. Matu's starting to move in. Fisher out onto the 4th, and the follow-up with the Ag Shot. Look at that Yapso. He's in with the Echo onto the 3 of them. Shad's down. He's dead and gone for 70 seconds. And they're just cleaning them up one by one. They're going to be able to get the team wipe off the back of that Secret.
That was... I mean, just dancing from Secret. Nisha dancing in the back, giving Yapsor a 4-man fissure opportunity. Yeah. 4-man enchant totem, and his blink comes up right after the enchant totem. Oh,
I mean,
picture perfect.
It really has felt that the Secret, as you say, they've not done anything unnecessary this game. They've just played this out. Absolutely textbook, and Viking, that they had something in mind. They're trying something a little different with this Ags rush on the troll, but just unable to do anything with it at all because Secret just never really made a bad move against them.
No, and I mean, the way that they took that fight, for people who want to see like spell casting and just dancing around a fight at just perfection, helps that Nisha, of course, had an arcane and a regen to be able to do this, but they just completely ruined Vikings' attempt.
See it again. Fight. I mean, you could the impending doom there where the Fisher's in, you know it's coming, and then here he is, Yapsor straight into the middle of them all. I mean, that's the power, as you talked about at the start. Big smiles there from Nisha.
Damn.
As the game, suddenly then, the real difference here has been blown wide open. 12k lead for Secret. After what a few minutes ago, you see on the graph, that lead only just cropping up in numbers, but you could certainly tell that Secret, they knew that was coming. They were just waiting for the prime opportunity to to create such a lead, and they've done it. And now they're ready to continue the aggression. Nisha straight in onto Toby. Shad watching from the side. Does have Boom in with the backup. He'll be able to get the lasso out onto Yapzor, but the Dream Core's down. Yapzor does fall. They'll get something out of this, but the space is there for Matu to finish off Roche. Aegis and Cheese is his. Viking continuing to slip further behind.
Yeah, they got 2 full sets of racks. It's an insane gold injection. The support puck of Puppey has a full Aghanims after all this. They get a Roche too. Everyone finishes up their next item. If we saw the last fight be that difficult for Viking where they could, that was also a perfect echo and perfect control from Secret, but now they have to play versus even harder grounds here. And that was beautiful. I'm just still like, that last fight was just so pretty to watch.
Yeah, they just picked Viking apart perfectly.
And now they're setting up for Shad too. They've got everybody running over. Coil still on cooldown about 15. Yapzor just starting to respawn. God, and the ceremonial robe also coming into play in that last fight too. Didn't really point out that he had it, but just everything on top of each other kicking in.
Absolutely. And the range on that bad boy is pretty big, right? So even with the Fisher, you're likely going to be in range of the debuff on the heroes. So they are going to have that extended stun duration when you're looking for the setup.
Yep. Scan on the right side. Catches Aramis. Gonna get scouted very quickly. Puppey might just coil him in a sec.
Aramis. He's going to pop his BKB. Boom's trying to move in, but instantly they're on him. The Fisher lockdown's there. Boom, he's popping the BKB. Has to be false promise as he falls so low. Nisha going to zip straight over towards the easy kills. Looks to set up on Aramis. They'll get one. Now they turn over towards Toby, pulling him back, siphoning him down. Toby, but he's still alive. He's trying to escape, but the Ghost from Zai finish him off. Shad attempts to move in. He's still holding on to his BKB charge. He has to pop it, as well as the Battle Trance. Boom, he's got the grab on Zion with the Battle Trance. They've got the attacks to take down one. Matu also falling, but he has the Aegis. He's ready for a second round. Buybacks coming into play from Viking. They want to make sure that they can take down Matu the second time. Into the silence, Nisha trying to help out. Fisher down from Yapzor, onto Boom, onto Aramis. Boom to fall. Boom also buying back. They're trying to throw everything into this Viking to turn it around, but Matu, he still prevails, staying alive, turns over towards Shad, bashing him up. Shad, he's trying to eliminate some of the hits here with the mischarge of the Boiling Axes, but it isn't enough. Another Fisher from Yapzor. As Shad goes down, they just cannot deal with this PL. It's another death on Aramis. Matu just going target to target. They've got a root. They've got one more buyback to throw into this from Shad. Matu's incredibly low, but he's able to step out to the side of the fight. He's away. They're trying to chase. Can they get any grab with this? They've had to use all 5 buybacks here, Viking, but Puppey holds them back. The 3 of them coiled into position. As Nisha, he's still watching from the side.
They're waiting for a chance.
Are they going to be able to get back in on this if they get another hit?
Their tier 4s are dying. The catapults are taking them out. They're looking to catch perhaps on a reset, but no. Viking will be able to get away, but Secret continue their push. And yeah, like you said, PL, the king, just sitting in the midst of the team fight, just hitting everybody, splitting his illusions. Even though there's what? Everyone buying back almost on the side of Viking, still unable to take the fight and only take out Zai. And Puppey. Puppey buying back.
It's certainly looking pretty impossible right now for Viking. So Matu, 25. And yeah, nearly having the completed Abyssal, still just an insane amount of farm here, 38 minutes in. Matu.
And they're ready to still like poke and prod. The Earth Spirit's just respawning. They've almost got everything at the ready. Boom.
Boom's getting jumped. He's got to put the BKB. He's trying to find a target with the lasso. Zai's able to dodge it here with the self-fuels. They'll get the grab onto Yapzor. With the silence in the pullback, Yapzor's still alive, and he's able to get his spells off. Pop the enchant totem. Turns with a Fisher. Shad popping the BKB. Trying to fight against this, but he can't find the real PL. Matu completely kites him. He's out to the side. They've lost Boom. They've lost Celery. Nisha's still got mana to play with. He zips back in for the cleanup. Yapzor comes in with the Echo Slap. Down onto the 2 of them. They're all dead yet again. Triple kill for Nisha. This game is over. As Secret take this first game and in a way where the build-up very gradual, as we saw, it stayed even on the numbers, but there was always that worry that it was going to get very quickly blown out of control, and my goodness, it did. From that team fight in the mid lane to the closing seconds of the game, that was just Secret at full power, and Viking, they had nothing. They had nothing to respond to this with, Fog.
Yeah, I mean, this was a masterclass really of how you want to play the dance. I feel like the whole game was a dance by Secret, playing around Viking. Viking had some really good item timings. Still not crazy about this troll axe. I feel like that hurt them quite a bit, as it felt like it didn't really do much of anything. And felt like if he had a farming item, maybe he's at a better level to fight, but still, Secret just doing the dance inside the game and inside the team fights, just knowing exactly how to take it.
Yeah, definitely interesting to see a different approach from Viking and Shab with that build, the order that he picked the items up, but definitely not coming into any sort of effect here against what Secret had, as Secret very, very nicely and cleanly done by them towards the end will take this game 1 against Viking.
Indeed, they do. A beautiful dance, as Fog says, and we are going to analyze every single step of both of the teams after the break.
With the right CPU, you can turn any game from familiar to phenomenal. Unleash the potential in all your gaming with Intel 10th Gen processors. With its optimal balance of threads, cores, and frequency to deliver elite real-world performance, only Intel can bring Marvel's Avengers to life with in-game PC optimizations. Supercharge your Marvel's Avengers experience with Intel Core i5, i7, and i9 processors.
You ready? Huh? Hey, he's a good boy, huh? You ready? Huh?
Start your esports career now at play.eslgaming.com.
What's your style? Get your merch at shop.eslgaming.com.
BKBs.
Yeah.
And the 5-position puck has nags, and he's got double the Oracle's net worth. And this has been a trademark of Secret since they started this run. Their supports always have more gold than their enemies, oftentimes at the expense of Zai. But you can even see, like, Death Prophet's the perfect Zai hero because it's a DP. You scale based on your level and your ghosts. You don't really need too many items, and he buys very high-value items to max his slots out. The Falcon Blade, the Urn, the Yules, like, he's strong just because his hero exists and it's at level 12. Leaves a lot of space for the supports. Yaps or Puppey, they make good use of that gold.
Yep, they really do. I'm also curious to find out what Purge thought of this first game of the series.
Thank you, Shiver. I was actually pretty impressed with how Viking played the early game. It's pretty common for Secret to punish small mistakes that their opponents make and push this into a really big advantage. But the Death Prophet offlane did really good. She ended up having 3 kills here at the 7-minute mark, which was huge, about same last hits as Troll. She popped her ulti at the 7-minute mark, expecting to kill the tower, but very crucially, Earth Spirit TP's in, and then he boulder smashes the creep wave. And what that does is pulls the creeps to the right. So while Death Prophet effectively has, infinite damage compared to most offlane heroes at this point of the game, if she doesn't have creeps to tank the tower, then she can't kill it. So just pulling that creep wave to the right gave them the ability to defend this even longer and basically waste a lot of the Death Prophet ulti. She uses an Urn Charge to deal a little bit more damage to the tower, but maybe a small mistake by Yapster there to not fissure block off the Earth Spirit as he retreated, because if they do kill Earth Spirit, the creeps de-aggro, go back to the tower, and then maybe you can take that earlier. So these tower dives, tower defending thing was a really important aspect of the first couple of minutes, or the first 10 minutes of the game, and generally Viking just did better there. Same thing here again, push the creep wave in, rotate the Troll over. Here they are about 2 minutes later, finally killing the tower, but because of this, Viking ends up still getting a decent amount of farm on the map. Now, on the opposite side of the map, we're going to see the same game happen. Zai comes down here. He's going to defend the tower while getting a kill. This ended up being really good, right? They get the Underlord. Everything looks great. But then ultimately, Batrider rotates over. They kill Zai. They kill Earthshaker. So despite losing the Underlord, they get kills. They shut down the Exorcism, and they make Death Prophet a slow hero again for a bit of time. Here's Puck trying the same game, defending the tower with the orb, but they do the perfect Pit of Malice into the root from the Oracle, into the follow-up from Earth Spirit, guarantees the Puck kill and buys them time to end up pushing the tower a little bit later, where they again dive the counter pusher, kill him instantly. Viking just playing a little faster, and generally they're just games around these tier 1 towers in the safe lane were just a little bit better than Secrets, which helped them keep the game even and get to the mid game so that Yapsor could Echo Slam and destroy the whole game.
And so the next step would be is they do the same thing, but then rather than doing them to keep the game even, they're doing them to get ahead of Team Secret. And we're going to find out if they can do that in the second game of this series. We'll be back after the break with the draft.
Oh, I tried so hard and to be nice, but you don't wanna know if I don't have the rights. 'Cause darling, you're the kind of girl that everybody wants to know. And we're going out Monday, saying maybe someday we could get along. Because you're the kind of girl that everybody wants to know. And I said, hold on, 'cause darling, you got it all wrong. Yeah, you're dancing. Dancing with the wrong one. And he'll give you a kiss in the night, but it don't come with a hug, no, it comes with a knife. 'Cause darling, you're the kind of girl that everybody wants to know. And you better watch out, you don't stab your back and take the love you love and leave you full of black. 'Cause darling, you're the kind of girl that everybody wants to know. And I said, hold on, 'cause darling, you've got it all wrong. Yeah, you're dancing, oh, you're dancing with the wrong one. And I said, hold on, 'cause darling, you've got it all wrong. Yeah, you're dancing, oh, you're dancing with the wrong one. Oh yeah, he seems really nice. He's just your type. He's just your type. got me twisting, got me churning inside tonight. Like a fly on the wall, and I'm feeling so small in my skin, in my skin.
Second game, another chance for Viking to prove themselves. So far this DPC League, they have not yet put a win on the board. Can they do it this time around? We're joined by Purge on the big screen. I'm here with Kyle and Moxie in the studio. And Game 2, the draft of Game 2 is about to come your way. And we do need to see some changes, right, Purge? I will refresh your memory. We had Keeper of the Light and Nyx Assassin banned first phase from a Viking previous game. We see them banning out OD this time around. I think the Shaker is on a lot of people's mind, though, Kevin.
It is, yeah. There was other aspects of the game I kind of wanted to talk about, but I didn't have enough time. And I think, like, watching over the game, Viking did a good job with the laning and the early mid-game stuff. And Batrider did a great job, too. He's like 3-0-3. But the problem is that they had a couple missed ganks on Storm, and maybe their lineup was a little weak at scoring kills, maybe. And because Storm got out of a bunch of those, it just felt like they never really got to catapult into an advantage. And then their opponent's teamfight heroes were better. So it could be a play issue. It could be a pick issue. You can criticize it a couple ways. But as long as they play about the same, I think they're in a good spot. They certainly have the chance to still win the series, even though they're down one game.
Yeah, they had some good moments. They have identified that the Death Prophet was their biggest problem. Also, first pick goes this time around to Team Viking, which is why we see Secret ban out both Nyx Assassin and Keeper of the Light.
Indeed, but once again, Secret is Radiant. So I would imagine that I don't actually know what they would have chosen. And Earth Spirit first pick, man, I have fallen into this trap myself drafting against Puppy. Something we obviously all know what like hero versatility can do. You see like, okay, oh, this Death Prophet, that could be here, that could be there. The problem with Earth Spirit is that not only is it locking you into a 4, but it's an aggressive style. It's a weak laner. You want to be able to make moves. And the worst thing my brother always said about playing Earth Spirit is that if you were in a game where you couldn't kill at least 2 lanes, you felt bad. This is not something you necessarily want to first pick against a really experienced team like Secret for that reason. Because they will not give you killable lanes. Summary. Sorry.
That's an early Enigma pickup.
Mm-hmm.
This feels like a prep strat for Viking GG. And that's the one counter argument to what Kyle's saying, basically, is that I agree with what he said, but if this is your strat and you need Earth Spirit as a piece of it, sometimes you're going to have to show it right away. And Enigma's already also a very clear, like, we're doing something, we're planning something here, switching it up. No more of those, like, you do a draft and you try it again to see if it'll work the second time. It's like, not in DPC League. These games mean too much. So you got to have something special ready to go at least for 2 out of the 3 games.
Yeah. Explains also why they banned Death Prophet, because if they leave that, Secret pick it right here. It's excellent against Earth Spirit for reasons you already mentioned, and a great hero against the Enigma as well. Ghosts kill him even when he's channeling. And oh my god, first you give him the Shaker. Now it's Yepso Rubik against Enigma. I see Purge is grimacing right now.
Realistically, though, this is the benefit of having maybe the best or one of the best 4s in the world, is that pretty much no matter what he picks, you're like, oh, I'm really confident in that Yapsor pick.
Yeah, that is true. That is definitely a true, and that's true for a lot of the players on the side of Team Secret. So.
Yeah.
I mean, we know that this is an uphill battle, but I think if that first game showed us anything, is that Viking does have the presence of mind to make those strategic moves, to be on top of the movements of Team Secret, especially for the first 15 minutes. And I think that's the area where they need to find their advantage.
For sure. They have potential. Like, they're not a bad team. It's just they're playing up against the Titan of Dota.
Yeah.
Earth Spirit with Enigma, I've always liked, because now you guarantee catch. Enigma's big weakness is you're basically, you push, you got Black Hole, but you want something, one, that plays with you in the laning phase that can help you land kills if you have Eidolons up, and that also lets you stay away. Like, same way we saw the Shaker DP, Enigma likes to play solo on lane, and Earth Spirit naturally wants to move around a bit.
You know what? Maybe we should add an extra ban.
I'm surprised. Why did we take the 3 bans from the first phase and put them in the second?
Why don't we have 3 bans in the first and 3 bans in the second?
Why do we 3 bans in all the phases?
9
We
bans.
should get a ban.
What do you think, Purge?
I would say it limits creativity a little bit, and if you balance the game really well and most heroes are approximately like closer to each other, then having too many bans in the first phase is not as necessary. I feel like, because then it lets you just like push strats out of the way all the time.
But this is,
see what
at
I
the
mean?
moment, Team Secret, they can't add the ban Nyx Assassin Keeper of the Light. We see everybody banning out the same heroes. Just have an extra ban to be the meta ban. Or
Dota Plus subscribers get to add, they get to vote for 2 bans
Oh my god.
for all DPC matches.
No.
I see Kev nodding.
Valve can make money from this. Yeah.
Yeah.
They just might do it.
I really
dear
think
God.
we're onto something. And if you get Dota Plus Platinum, you actually get to choose the first picks.
Nope. Nope. Not in my Dota
How much
2.
is platinum? How much is
$50 a month.
That's not going to be fun. It's not fun to watch pro players play bad strats.
It's one hero.
And-
They're professional players.
Yeah,
They
Wait,
can't
wait,
make a
wait.
strategy.
Because with the bans, it would be like 1 ban for both teams, right? This is like banned by the community and then banned by the teams. Because if picks, you can't. Then you're all of a sudden putting one team in an advantage.
Am I in like an alternative universe here? What is happening on this panel? Why is Purge going along with this nonsense? Why am I the reasonable
What?
one?
I am not. I promise you, it's not going to be good. It's not compelling. You don't want to watch like the reverse captains mode. That shit's not fun. Hey, let's watch 2 really bad drafts fight.
Oh yeah,
like,
I've played in some of
they're
those. They're not fun.
They're not fun to watch. They're not fun to play. People are going to pick pro teams techies. I'm telling you, as somebody who's done Midas modes, you got to be really careful. It's going to make not fun gameplay.
Jesus.
So
Someday,
sorry,
someday there will be a book written about those late night discussions between Slacks and Kevin about the integrity of the Midas mode economy.
Hey man, Midas
God, that
Mode
was
3.
fun.
There's lore behind there.
Oh yeah.
Someday.
Someday.
Void Spirit, with Ember and Storm banned, there's only one left. Secret take it immediately. It's real nice against both Earth Spirit and Enigma. It's just active. Enigma's weakest against High Reach. Void Spirit, some of the best in Dota 2. Look at the team fight. It's nice. I want to see Viking now set up for a 4th pick. I actually still really like SF. We could maybe see them go for the Lina like in the previous series, but against a Rubik Void Spirit, you're again really susceptible to just getting ran at and killed.
How likely is that Void Spirit moving to the off lane?
It's definitely open. I'd say it's 70% mid at the moment.
Okay.
Although it is a really nice mid puck game too. That's the thing. And I feel like actually looking at Secret, it's more likely they're putting puck mid at the moment, but of course things can always change.
why do you think it's more likely Puck mid instead of Void Spirit? Because I feel like Void Spirit's better here because he has more single target damage than Puck does in those first rotations, and I feel like that's a counter to Enigma.
Mostly just because Puck doesn't ever fear Earth Spirit rotating mid, whereas a Void, with assuming Viking pick a favorable matchup, like say it's an SF as an example, you kill Void Spirit once, and like his game is just ruined. And you won't really be able to match the tempo of a hero like Enigma. You want a mid that's able to actually rotate and deal with a 6 to 8 minute Necrobook Eidolon push. And a Void Spirit that's behind doesn't really do that very well if the enemy mid is already ahead and can match his movement.
And speaking of Necro books, wouldn't something like a Beast... Well, actually, is it... Hold on. I'm sitting a little...
Yeah, it's still up.
A Beastmaster would be pretty nice against an Enigma, and also gives you Necrobook lineup, gives you push.
I actually think Puppy's playing this Void Spirit.
You think it's going to be a 5, like Kuro's been doing. All right.
Now things might change a bit because Puck against DK is very unfavorable, but it opens them up. Well, it's a nice match. It's definitely canned pick. I think it was Kevin who said that. Like DK Enigma, this is something we used to do all the time, canned, because it's a really high level yet easy to execute strategy that is kind of difficult to exploit because you always have win conditions. You kill towers, you get Aegis, BKB Black Hole, life's good.
I mean, DK does fine in both of these matchups, right? Like, he just doesn't die.
Oh yeah.
So it's harder to gank. And then you just rotate to be the frontliner for the tower pushes. You could set Eidolons behind him. That way Enigma's a little bit more safe when you do these pushes, so...
There's still the chance that neither Puck nor Void Spirit are mid.
That's
knows?
true.
It's true.
Could just be the 5 and the 3, and yeah.
I love DK. It's an old man's hero. I've been playing mid a lot. It's like I still haven't lost a step on my DK, you know? It's a real
He's
nice...
literally designed not to die. I should
know,
hope
it's
that
great.
you
Ooh, we got
giving
ourselves
away
a
the deaths
tango on
there.
the board.
Yeah, and
That
they,
also could be any lane.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
So this is what's so spooky. Like, how do you draft against this? Like, chat, what are the positions right now for these 4 secret heroes?
Yeah, but that's unfair because chat knows. They know everything.
No, they don't.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah, they do, because they're going to get like 8,000 comments and one of them's going to be right.
Exactly. It's the hive mind.
All right, well,
Kyle,
don't
I got
cheat.
you a basketball reference. It's like when you do March Madness and everybody fills out a bracket and one person that doesn't follow basketball always wins.
That's true.
Just like that.
My 7-year-old brother once won in a pool of 40. He correctly picked a 15 seed to beat a 2. Wild times.
Good for him.
Right.
Bloodseeker. Yep, the Pango counter. I like this Viking draft, I gotta say. I don't know what the Enigma is at the moment, and I'm hoping they're not last picking their 5, but that is a possibility. It is a rather nice Grimstroke game, actually. Jeez, is that banned? That's still up, right?
That's still in.
Still there.
All right, well, Secret's gonna ban it, I would imagine, but God, is that a perfect Grimstroke 5th pick?
Yeah. Pango does have some solutions with the shard now, since he can turn into Magic Immune Ball, but yeah, definitely very good heroes against him.
Yeah. Well, it's the Void and the Puck as well. The fact you have a double DK stun, double Rupture.
Was that Ukker
Double
that we
no.
saw who got the Pango shard and then just kept getting slapped by Bloodseeker
Yes.
like around the
Yes,
corner?
well, that was Uker. He had a lot of fun with it. He was
He was
smiling
laughing
as he died.
as he died. Yeah. I think the game was pretty much over at that point.
It was.
Too, so.
It was, absolutely. But yeah, that was a lot of fun to watch. We have Lycan banned out, so it seems like Viking is still wanting, on the side of Team Secret, to have a hard carry, which makes sense. Because so far, all their heroes, yes, they're super duper flexible, but they're not very great at carrying anything late game. And the Grimstroke,
Super
indeed,
ban.
banned.
That's why I love working Secret OG Enigma games, because if you see something you're like, hey, that would be a really good idea, they always think of it too. It's
Probably thought of
validated.
it first, even.
Probably.
I mean, if we can see it coming, they definitely can see it coming. Let's be really honest, guys.
They got eyes in
So-
the back of their heads. They see all the heroes all the time.
Team Secret definitely lacking tower hitters right now. I think that explains the Lycan ban. PL's okay at hitting towers. Seems like they're worried about swarm stuff because their AoE is pretty limited right now. They've basically got like Blood Right and Breathe Fire, so any AoE stuff is scary for Viking. Let's see what Secret finishes with. The Viking goes first. Could be Enigma support. They could be picking a support here.
Yeah.
Secret anticipates a support to be picked.
Yeah, I like the Oracle and the Grimstroke bans. Like, yeah, you know, maybe they'll just go for something like a Witch Doctor, but that doesn't, you know, they already have their win conditions set on Viking. They wanted to finish with something that amplified them. You don't want a 5, like even a Disruptor. It just doesn't feel good. You want something that doesn't have to worry about its own game, but rather makes it easier for your cores to play.
How about a lion?
Always
Question marks across the board.
I like it when Save is playing it. I'm not sure about this one.
It's just real squishy, and there's a lot of catch. Like Secret, look at these 4 heroes. If 2 of them decide to cast their spells on Lion, Lion is dead.
Yes.
It is rather nice though with Bloodseeker, with DK, with Enigma. Like you have a bunch of damage, but
Ooh, that's a big boy.
There's their dive hero. Just gonna run to the back lines, and they can't really kill him. It's a very good Bristle game.
Yep. Yeah, they push the Puck back to 5 because you don't want to play core Puck against a DK. Void Spirit will have a free lane mid. Bristleback has a free lane top. The Eidolons do not have bonus physical resist, just magical, so the Spines will kill them in 2 or 3 props. Yeah, it's just, I love Bristleback. Big fan.
Big fan. That's your final words. Curious about your final words, Purge.
I think the Bristle's perfect for basically diving into the enemy team and forcing them into a weird spot where they have to use spells in a less than ideal way. So I think Secret's going to play super high tempo and just pressure Viking GG constantly throughout the game.
How about you, Moxie?
I'm concerned about Vikings' amount of damage output. I think that's a little bit worrisome to me, especially, you know, with EKBs coming into play and whatnot. So it just, you know, you've got a Bristleback. I'm interested to see which build he's going to go. If he's going to go for that Heart build that we saw before or the Eternal Shroud kind of thing. But either way, it fits perfect.
Yeah, Ags on Void Spirit is insane this game. Same with an Orc. Anything he goes is going to be great. Nisha's going to have a hell of a time. Rune control is going to be big. If Viking want to win, they need to have a lot of pressure onto the Bristle lane. They've got to kill him with a black hole. They got to take the tower and shrink the map. And Lion can't feed. It's a lot of boxes to be checked.
Shrink the map, and Lion can't feed. I don't think anybody should feed. That's, you know, that's bad. Don't feed in your pubs. Not intentionally, anyway. Let's find out this second game if Viking can bring it back to that third game, or if Secret is going to take the series 2-0. Let's head over to OD Pixel and Fogged.
Thank you very much, Steve. Yes, game 2 ready to go here between Viking and Secret. And Fog, we saw last game, Secret very much on their nightmare mode. Do you think Viking's going to be able to challenge them here in game 2 with the lineup that they have?
Well, they're playing into, we were looking at that little, you know, right there, look at that beauty. Yep, the Yapso Rubik, when they picked an Enigma, that's always a fear. As soon as I saw the Enigma, I was like, Secret is snap picking this Rubik. No hesitation, they did. They have a good lineup if they can keep the pace, but if they start to fall behind at all, I feel very worried for Viking. And I'm also worried that the fact, I don't feel like there's a good lane for Enigma at all. I think that's what Secret set themselves up with these picks. You know, Pangolier, we saw during one DreamLeague tournament actually in particular, where we saw how that hero just owns Enigma in the lane and throughout most of the game. Bristleback, same thing. It's going to be tough for Toby just to sit in the lane for sure, because he has to go versus either Zai or versus Matumba as the lane setup will be.
The next label play.
We'll find out.
And I don't want them to fall behind at all, because once you start falling behind, as the panel mentioned, Bristleback, Void Spirit, Pango, all these heroes can collapse on you super quickly, and you, with a hero like Lion, your team fight's always going to be a lot weaker. You're really reliant on your 4 position and your offlaner to carry the team fights, because Lion, he's weird. He's more of this pick-off kind of hero. His Hex is really good this game versus the Void Spirit and the Puck, but Lion overall has always had that big weakness where your team fight's just extremely lackluster.
Yeah, and you can't help but sort of feel underwhelmed, right, by a draft that ends with the Lion pick.
Yes, that too. And it's non-traditional carries. Yeah, I mean, Bloodseeker's, I'm still gonna leave him in the non-traditional section because he's not this super late game kind of guy. He's really good in certain games, especially he's the counter to this Pango and all that. But like a Bristleback compared to a Bloodseeker, he scales way harder. He also has the backup of other scaling heroes. I feel like Vikings is just all about the early and mid game, and if they start to fall behind, I can see it being another dance by Secret.
And in that sort of sense, do you think from sort of the DK where we're going to see like the Blink Dagger rush, and then Boom's going to try and start the fight? We sort of look at the heroes around the Bristleback. A Blink Dragon Tail stun could set up for Vikings lineup to burst any of the other 4 heroes in the mid game.
Maybe. I think it all depends on how the laning starts for everybody. As Viking, all 5 walking up. Nisha will throw a Aether Remnant down to stop them. They still connect the stun.
Yeah, Earth Spike is there. Bloodbright does connect. But Aramis was off the mark. Yeah, with the rolling bot, and they ended up needing that. With that connection at the boulder, they probably would have got him. But they're not in this situation.
Did anyone else skill anything that isn't necessary? No, okay, good. I want to make sure that no one skills like a DK stun or something, just ruins their lane. So at least that didn't happen. And Celery was like on the edge of the stun, so I guess Aramis just really thought it wasn't going to hit. Now we're going to see which lanes end up being given. We're seeing Zai bottom. I think this is what I was talking about, is the Enigma just has nowhere to go. So Pango, he's excellent in the lane versus the Enigma, and this is the setup that they're going for, an aggro pressure lane.
We'll see how well Toby can play it down here. Otherwise, it could be one of those games where we do see the Enigma resigning to the triangle kind of early. If it is too tough of a time for him down here.
Yeah, just don't feed away too many of those Eidolons. He can do a good job in the lane as long as you just don't feed your Eidolons and make sure that the Earth Spirit is near you at least at the start. Because once Zai hits like level 3, you just swashbuckle through the Eidolons and you get the extra hit, and you pretty much kill them instantly.
I see here again, Puppy being a right nuisance for Celery. Making sure that he's got to start the lane a salve down.
A smart way to approach lane is when you're doing an aggressive tri-lane is doing exactly what they did there. You know, the creeps don't aggro on the first wave, just beat the crap out of the support, and yeah, he already has to waste that salve as you talk about.
And as you said, obviously having Zai down bottom against the Enigma is what Secret wanted, and that doesn't really sacrifice them anything up top. Like, this is more than a fine setup for Matu to farm in.
Yeah, they have to switch the lanes. But even now, it's like it's not good for Viking either. The fact that they have to switch the lanes, like I was saying before, it's Bristleback's good versus Enigma, and Celery almost getting taken out there from the right clicks, 1 or 2 more, and he was dead. So this is going to be problematic for Toby, even up in this top lane. And Zai now already level 2 versus a double melee. He's got ways to play around this bottom lane. This is just, it looks really good for Secret. And I mean, Celery just always at the risk of dying if he steps up at all.
Yes, he's dead. He is very, very dead. I mean, it does feel like that the game's going to be like that. Where can Celery sort of find his place in this laning phase as a Lion? Where does he go? What can he do?
There's not many places. He's going to move bottom because he has to stick with the Bloodseeker. Maybe they can set up a kill onto Zai if he doesn't see it coming. He sees it directly coming, and he can play perfectly around it. And it's, I mean, Aramis is going to have to be the one who breaks away. It's going to have to be Lion and Bloodseeker bottom. And I feel like Toby's going to get absolutely nothing. He's got 7 denies making Eidolons, but now he's out of mana, and the lane positioning is just in a spot where he's going to get nothing. So they're going to have to sack the lane. He's going to have to just move. Puppy's moving bottom. His job is done. Great setup here from Secret.
I see Zai even getting pretty aggressive onto Celery.
He actually went for it. He might die for it.
He's going to get held in the blood right. The boulder from Aramis didn't connect. And Zai, Fairy Fire. It's going to keep him alive. I mean,
actually survived.
Pretty crazy that he did live there, because that was a rather wild move from Zai, just swashbuckling in on Celery when he knew that the 3 of them were down here. He did the math though. He was like, well, I know they can't kill me, and he was right. Actually able to walk away from it.
Puppy will get the orb. He'll be able to disconnect away. I'm just watching Toby. His courier even gets... Dude, he's gotten like literally...
Oh no, not the courier.
One, and he loses his courier. That's what? That's 2 or 3 couriers? Oh, yeah, 2 couriers dead.
I mean, at what point does he sort of say, well, I'm just going to go hit jungle creeps?
He can't. Yapster's going to follow him. He can't go to the jungle. That's the problem. Him now being up here is just... He's going to get nothing. He can't go anywhere. They're going to kill his Eidolons, and Yapster's just going to follow him. Like, they may have gotten a position now where Shad is getting something at least, because he's not getting pressured as much, but now your Enigma is completely out of the game for the whole early game. And now his Eidolons again are just dead. All 3 of them. Does deny 1, but...
I mean, this is definitely a rough start. You know, if we see sort of Toby able to pick up his game, this game, it's going to be quite the comeback of, you know, what has been, this first 4 minutes of just nothingness for the Enigma, as Secret have completely shut it down. TP's going to come in from Aramis, but Toby's dead. He's back to base for 10 seconds. I don't know how he's going to recover his game here.
I don't either. There's a huge creep wave up top that Aramis is fortunately at least going to get experience of. Matu's trying to push him out. Tower actually switches to Matu. Okay. He'll be okay, though. And he will at least get all this experience. Yapster is starting to beat on the tower a little bit there to get some extra damage, but Toby thankful to get all that. Up to level 2 now on the Enigma at 4 minutes.
All right. As you say, that wave under the tower definitely helped.
Puppy versus Celery. Off the mark with the orb. And we haven't gotten a chance to actually look at the mid lane. Whereas the fortunate thing for Viking, at the very least, is Boom is doing very well in that matchup with his Breed Fire reducing the damage. And the Bloodseeker's at least farming, right? Shad with that movement, he is at least getting a good lane for himself, which they do need. They need to have a good early game. Celery. Get the 1 rune. Puppy jumps over, though, places a ward. And they'll be able to secure 3 runes for the side of Secret. Maybe. Aramis. He actually might be able to get this one.
Yep.
Huh.
Oh, no.
Nope. Just kidding.
That'll be pretty much Yap's mana boot stump on the Rubik. Looks those bounties. I mean, so when you sort of look at this DK void split, do you imagine this is going to be a game where Boom's going to be pretty stationary in this mid lane, waiting for Nisha to make moves across the map so he can just start hitting this tower as soon as possible?
At least at the start, yeah, but he's going to have to be active. He's going to have to do some other stuff. In the beginning, this is your heat map for a DK usually is just going to be first 10 minutes in that mid lane. Maybe around 8 minutes you go toward one of the side lanes, but this is all just about him. It's about his game. And he's going to be able to apply good pressure. Let's see how Secret does react. They're setting up right now for some runes. Nisha will be able to get that arcane. And they might actually go for... I've seen a couple times where they do set up for the kill onto Boom, but I don't know if they have the heroes, the actual damage to be able to versus a DK at this point.
Yeah, Vikings definitely going to have to keep a lookout, though, for Nisha, maybe making moves on other lanes. Top lane. Diving in again onto Toby. There'll be a TP over front Celery. Good slow here from Aramis onto the two of them. Buys time for Celery to come in with the stun. They're onto the Timberman. Have they got enough damage to take him down? They do. Matu will fall as Viking punish Secret for getting a little too aggressive underneath that top tower.
Much needed to. Toby now almost completely recovered. Still not in the place he wants to be as Enigma, but almost level 5 now off of that. He got most of those last 3-4 waves that were top pushing in. So decent salvage of what looked like it could snowball out of control very quickly. They do salvage at least this first 6 minutes.
We see Celery hanging around the mid lane, but Nisha unlikely to jump within range of the line. As Celery, yeah, he's just going to continue to make his way down to the bottom. See if he can get that set up for Shad's blood right.
Aramis has TP ready, so he could set up down here. Aramis also has the Urn done on the Earth Spirit. No points in the Silence just yet. I think he probably wants to pick that one up at level 4 this game since he's playing versus Void Spirit, Pango, and Puck. That'll make his ganking a lot easier around the map. Right now, just chilling top until they maybe see an opportunity to go on bottom. May have to go kind of soon, though. Zai's getting closer and closer to level 6. Once Zai hits 6, they can't actually make this aggressive move. He'll just counter all of it with the Rolling Thunder.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
We'll see in the mid. Boom, he's already done quite a significant amount of damage to this tower.
Yeah.
The first round of the Elder Dragon form. He's coming in with the second round. As Nisha TP's in, they'll check for the Eminem Runes. Also finding a DD.
Nice.
That'll certainly help his pressure.
Yeah, just keep hitting it. Keep hitting that mid tower. They can't can't kill him. Unless they had Rolling Thunder, they can't actually set up for him. That's the only way is if Zai was there. And Zai hit 6. Okay, now they might actually go for him here.
See TP over.
Pango ult is online.
Boom. Already stepping right back though. And see how far forward he comes. Zai. He's teasing with the Thunder, waiting to see if Boom oversteps the mark, but he won't. Boom plays it smart. He knows that Zai's off map, and he doesn't want to risk any further pressure onto this mid tower for now.
Good read of the map there by Boom. They saw, I think they saw and they were aware that Zai did TP out of the bottom lane, and that's that's the only damage that they could have on the side of Secret to kill a DK. So a great read of the map by them. And then they split up right away. Boom goes right back to his place. There is still the 3 heroes here. They might still set up on him.
They're going to see if they've got the control. And they've found that perfect position around the steps. I say that though, Boom with some nice sidestepping. Mass TP's coming in. Boom, he's low, but he's not going to quite fall. The Astral Step comes in along with the Assimilate. Finally, they get him, but Nisha has had to put himself in a very deadly position to get that kill, as Nisha will go down in return. So they're getting Boom, but Viking, a solid setup, and Boom, some sweet little moves there to me that takes Secret quite a bit of time to actually kill him.
But they bring 3 people. They bring everyone. The other 2 side lanes are abandoned. Matu and Puppy both just farming during it there. And they look at the gold advantage just goes up for them because of that downtime. Just everyone having to rally to try to protect their DK. But he still does go down. If he lives there, that would be huge. Now he does have his DK form up. He's making the way toward bottom. But, I mean, Secret's responding. They're going to have Rolling Thunder in 15.
Boom. Dragon form popped. He looks for Puppy, but quick phase shift. Dodges the Dragon Tail. Anisha and Zai committing to the backlines. They take out Celery.
Zai's ult is going to be up in 5 seconds. They're going to look to fight this again here in a sec on Secret.
They're starting to slow down Boom. Matu beginning the preparations for the dive. Zai, he's in. He's got that angle. A couple of bounces in onto Boom. Also onto Aramis coming in. Boom, he's getting low, but Zai hits him once more with the Thunder. As some smooth moves from Zai, set up for an easy fight for Secret to run them down one by one. Toby's going to drop the black hole onto the 2 of them. There's no damage follow-up though. Puppy and Matu still alive. Shad's going to try and come in for the cleanup. A lot of Quill Spray stacks on Toby. He's got to back up.
Oh my
Shad
God.
just ends up exploding on the front to both Matu and Nisha's damage output. As Celery and Toby, they've got to run. They're trying to get out of there. Matu starts to lay down the goo. Puppy's got the coil, locks down the 2 of them. As Nisha just dives in and finishes up the cleanup.
Wow. I mean, spellcasting at its finest again, and Secret just pushing it. pushing and reading the plays that are coming. The Pango ult was coming back up. They understand like exactly where the aggression is going to come. When DK shows himself bottom, he can't go anywhere else. So Zai's just going to follow him around for what seems like the rest of this early game. DK goes mid. Watch Zai. Look at the Pango. Immediately running toward mid to set up with his Rolling Thunder and go for these kills. This is just, again, Secret just knowing exactly where to be and knowing exactly what to do on those places of the map versus what Vikings got so far. And now Viking, like they're trying to set up for bottom here again. We might see Boom even make the way toward bottom, but the Rolling Thunder is just, the frequency of it is too fast. They can set up for these quick plays just a little bit better than Viking is, and Shad is very far under the tower right now.
There's Zai. Over he goes, lift up from Yapsor. Zai heads over towards Aramis. It means that Aramis is going to struggle to provide any backup. Shad's trying to run, but oh, Yapsor! The stolen rupture. I mean, you can see, I think Shad was as, incredibly surprised as he's suddenly like, hang on, I'm bleeding as well. He's dead. Mid lane, Puppy's got the setup with the coil. A quick move from Secret from bottom to mid lane. Yapsor picks up the double. It's, we saw sort of this outplay come out in you know, what was it, about sort of 25 minutes into the first game. Here, already at 12 minutes in, we are starting to see Secret outclass Viking.
It's just really, I mean, I hate gushing over it like this so much, but it's perfect moves. Like, just no hesitation at all, and they're just reading exactly what Viking wants to do with the game, and just they're a full step ahead of them in every single one of these situations. Matu has,
I mean, look at his
Eternal
farm.
Shroud nearly done after the Vanguard and the Soul Ring. He's massive, and we've already been seeing the damage issues coming up for the side of Viking. That's Puppy. He walks in just to mess with Shad a little bit. And now it's probably so scary to even look to want to make any move on the side of Viking. Now the three moves that you tried to make aggressively have been completely stagnated by Secret's movement. It's gonna make it really hard for them to do much of anything. Celery trying to secure their woods for now for Boom to get his Blink Dagger so they can actually have a shot of being able to kick off the fights, but already 6k deficit is gonna make it incredibly hard even with that Blink.
I mean, yeah, that is the thing, yeah, as you say. He's going to be jumping into, I mean, probably imminent death unless they can really find Secret in a position where one hero is completely isolated. But as we've seen so far, that just doesn't tend to happen for Secret, right? They don't leave themselves open to being jumped in the manner that Viking need to be able to give their squad a chance in this game.
Yeah, Aramis is in a good position here. He actually gets a decent connect onto Zai, immediately lifted and tossed away though, and won't be able to connect with another slow. Just again in position.
I mean, Secret's
Aramis
all coming
in a really nice spot too, but oh, Toby.
He's looking pretty dead. Zai clips him with the swashbuckle, sweeps around with the thunder. There's no escape. As it's another kill for Yapsor, diving in for more. Rupture down onto Celery. They're trying to run Viking, but Puppy even able to lock him down with the Dream Coil. Niche is in, easily dodging the Blood Bright with the Dissimulate. Step over onto Shad. Shad to go down. Boom's getting played around with the side. It's getting messy. 15-3, 14 minutes in, 8k lead. There's still a lot of towers on the map, but one more fight like this, and we may see the G's being dropped.
Dire's bottom tower has fallen.
Wow, I mean, they're here just well and brutally taking complete advantage of this Enigma, as we've seen Toby just unable to do literally anything in this game from minute one. Bottom of the net worth for the core is below every single one of Secret's heroes too. Secret just knows exactly how Viking wants to play, and they're in their heads.
I don't know what they do. Well, what do you do in this position? I think you've got to be. It's probably that stage where you pick up a smoke, you go all in around the DK, and see if you can get some sort of kill.
This Matu's unkillable. Matu can just run up any high ground with no fear at all.
Puppy just goes in. He just leads straight in. He is not scared at all. Coil down onto Celery. Shad just getting jumped by Nisha and Zai. Shad's dead. So Celery, it's falling apart completely for Viking.
Even gets the lift. He's got the Hex follow-up, and now they're going to be able to get another. He might even just roll on him too. There you go.
Oh yeah, just Secret playing it at the classic sort of 110% here. We know that they can bring. They're bringing it here in this series. And Viking, I mean, it's again, this is a tough series, and they already had a rough one. You know, it's already 2 series here at this league that Viking have definitely been hit hard in.
And this one, they just, I don't feel like they can even do anything anymore. This one, just everything fell apart way too quickly.
I mean, look at you're just seeing Yapso and Puppey. They're on track to overtake the farm of Boom and Shab. One more fight, and they'll be ahead. Secret will have the top 5 in net worth.
And there's just, this was a full early game draft too. That's the thing. It's like, it's a DK and a Bloodseeker. So if you're losing this hard in the early, there's no hope to come back. And your Enigma is completely countered, as we've mentioned ad nauseum in this game. There's no hope. There's no real hope. They're smoked around trying to look for something, maybe, but let's see if they can get Nisha.
Let's see if they can. They're dropping the finger, everything into the sides, but he's got a haste rune. He's able to just step out to the side, and he's ready to sweep back in onto Boom. Boom's dead. Zai's in with the chase.
Stolen finger, why not?
It's... I think that letter G on the keyboard's probably looking very appealing right now for Viking to sort of end the pain.
Yapster has a charge of finger, and Celery does not.
Oh my goodness.
Insult to injury.
Oh no. Oh no.
Jesus, this is just... Whew. I'm speechless at how... I mean, I don't know if it's just if it's only just Secret being that amazing and just knowing exactly how Viking's gonna play, or if Viking just didn't be clever enough, because it's everything is just read like a book for Secret. Like Puppey and the boys just moving from lane to lane, moving from kill to kill, moving from fight to fight. Just yeah, phenomenal. Love me some clean Dota. Aramis, let's see if you can get the steal.
Let's go for the steal. That's what he's playing for.
Over.
Let's see if he can do it.
The fight's going to be pretty much impossible for them, but can they steal?
He's going to have to go soon. He's not. Oh, he's in. Oh, it was close. He tried. It was close. Actually getting in the pit before the Aegis was picked up, but wasn't able to grab it himself. Boom's committed in with the Outer Dragon Form. They get the black. Where was he? Was he?
Zai just rolling thunder bounced him for 8 seconds. The entire duration of the fight.
I mean, he's smiling. Zai always got the tongue out as well.
They're having a good time for sure.
It's a rough one for Viking. This is a tough one. Still some smiles there with Aramis looks like he's trying to keep the spirits up here for Viking. They know that this is quite the position they're in, but you know, why not go out with at least a few more bangs, a few more attempts here at a fight. You know, you know the cards are against you here against Secret, and here we go. Smoke up, smiles all around.
Get Puppey. Just get Puppey.
That's what they want to do.
That's got to be the goal.
Puppey, kill the puck. That's their goal. If I can get a kill here, this is going to be a win for them. They know that's all they want. They just want one kill here.
Are they going to be giving it though, Celery? They're all sticking together. They've got the one ward right there on the high ground. They're swooping. Who's it gonna be?
Here we go. Not looking to be on track to find anyone.
Just wait, they'll find one.
That's all they want, just one.
Someone will TP for the runes. They're hoping. Oh, a stack. Okay, they found a nice juicy stack.
All righty. Hey, there, smiles. Look at that. They love that. Chad's like, all right, that's a win right there. That is a win right there. Get those stacks. And the ancients as well. Look at that. And their birthdays and Christmas is coming at once. Yeah.
Oh, poor them. I love it though. I love when you know it.
I love the smile.
Chat wheels.
And it's sort of the contrast. Well, meanwhile on Secret, Puppey's like, we must win this game. Yapso, do not buy whatever.
They got Puppey.
Oh.
They all tip him and they GG.
I mean, there we go. There we go. I mean, they know it. They knew it. It was a tough one for Viking. They go out with some smiles. Secret, of course, they go out business as usual here for Secret. As
some smiles. Some
smiles there. Nisha, I mean, he's got a beautiful smile, Nisha. The rest of them in full focus mode. Puppey actually losing a few inches during that game.
Puppey actually hides the bottom of his mouth so you can't see that he's ever smiling. Just in case, you know, you gotta just
that's
the top
yeah, that's
tell
right.
how he's feeling.
He had a smile on there, but he's like, oh, my brand, my image. as a terrifying fighter must be protected. As well, there we go. There we go. 2-0 here for Secret Fogged. Game 1 looked pretty clean, and then game 2 just looked pretty unfair. It just didn't look like Viking had a chance. They knew it to the end. They were having a bit of fun on the way out against Secret. As I think, as any sort of team when you're playing against Secret and then they're in this sort of form, you just kind of know that the game is, as it has been many times before against the Secret roster, just pretty impossible after a certain point.
Yeah, they tried to, like you said, they tried to make some fun out of it toward the end there. It looks like they were at least smiling in the horrible defeat.
Smiley on the outside, in the inside.
Yeah, on the outside.
But hey, it's against Secret. As Viking, they're definitely going to have to pick up themselves as this league goes on. As 2 series where they've had tough matchups. This one definitely the toughest here, as Secret beat them down pretty hard and pretty confidently here, 2-0.
Indeed, that was a rough one for Viking fans to watch, but I think Team Secret fans are going to be pretty happy. That was dominant performance. So we're going to break down that game and talk to the winners after the break.
With the right CPU, you can turn any game from familiar to phenomenal. Unleash the potential in all your gaming with Intel 10th Gen processors. With its optimal balance of threads, cores, and frequency to deliver elite real-world performance. Only Intel can bring Marvel's Avengers to life with in-game PC optimizations. Supercharge your Marvel's Avengers experience with Intel Core i5, i7, and i9 processors.
My name is Jordan Gilbert, aka Nothing.
Hi, my name is Sue Lee. My handle is Smix. I think it's important for these initiatives to happen. Empathy really, really goes a long way, and it always means so much to us, and I think that's where initiatives like this really help.
I encourage everyone in the community, anytime they see bullying, anytime they see someone getting called names, I encourage you to step up and say something.
Good luck, have fun.
Good luck, have fun.
What's your style? Get your merch at shop.esogaming.com.
I think I love her, she's always singing songs and I sing along. I think I love her, she's always going out and I tag along. I wait in the cold at her instigation, freezing but full of big ideas. A little laugh, a little look, a little dilation. Her voice is the only thing I hear, and I wanna shout, I think I love her, she's always singing songs and I sing along. I think I love her, she's always going out and I tag along. I hold her hand at her instigation, praying that it will never end. A little miss, a little kiss, a little equation. Upon this my happiness depends, and I wanna shout, I think I love her, she's always singing songs.